Hey, everybody, it's your friend Trevor. Do you know how many times you need to advertise your live auction items before your event even happens, before your live auction even takes place? Well, I do. And I only know because our good friend Claire Murad from Murad Auctions joins us on this episode to explain to you how many times you need to advertise your live auction lineup before your event even takes off. Enjoy this episode with our good friend Claire. And before you do, make sure you subscribe, like the video, give us a comment. Connect with Claire. Tell her we sent you. All the above. Enjoy this episode about the live auction with our good friend Claire Murad. So I was on my bike this morning because it's going to be like 110 degrees here, and I was going through our episode. And I've been really dying to have this conversation ever since you brought it up on one of our webinars, Claire, recently, about advertising why you have to advertise your live auction items 6 times minimum before your event, during the event, all the above. And I want you to get into I want to get you to get as myopically focused on these things as possible. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I've known you and your family now for a bit, and y'all have been in the auction space for decades. Like, you've
20
seen it all,
26 years. Yeah, 26 years.
so it's like, and you touch so many of these events. And I also, and I just mentioned this to you in the green room too. It's like, y'all are very, very coachable, I guess, right? I think, and open to new ideas, right? So you're not well, we've always done it this way, so we have to do it this way. You know what I mean? Type person. So
Mhm, mhm.
you and the team always bring a really, really fresh perspective too. So what it means in 2026 and beyond, why you have to, I want you to speak to the audience about it, why you absolutely have to advertise your live auction items a minimum of 6 times before and during the event. Get into just how that, what the aha moment behind that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so if you really think about how much money is made from that live auction, typically it's 75% of all the funds raised
Mhm,
from your event happens during the live auction and giving moment.
mhm.
So the importance, one, of obtaining amazing live auction items and really curating those items to create a successful live auction and really to have items that people really want. And that's a whole nother topic as what type of live auction items
Yeah.
make the best. We just finished an ebook about that specific topic, and it includes our 50 top selling live auction items.
Oh, cool. We'll put that in the
Uh,
show notes for folks to find. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
so
Yeah.
that's a whole nother topic, but our clients put so much work into creating this amazing lineup of live auction items that then to not promote it just seems like a crime, right? And
Mm.
so just like if you are, my daughter's is in marketing for Fossil. They spend millions of dollars a year marketing their watches, their purses, all of their items for sale. We have to, as nonprofits, have to spend time and maybe money marketing that live auction so that you can really get people's attention. And so when they get to the event, they are ready to bid. And so that's really important. So we talk a lot about presenting the live auction items to your guest 6 times at a minimum, because it typically takes at least 6 times for people to see the same message. And then finally it clicks and they say, oh, there's going to be a live auction at this event. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't know that. Even though we've been sending them emails and text messages and they got a program and like all of these different avenues where we've been coming at them. Finally, after about the 5th or 6th one, the light bulb will go off and they will understand
Let
and actually look at it.
let me understand it a little bit. So you're saying 6 times before they even walk into the room?
6 times before they sit down for the live auction.
And you
Maybe
gave,
five
yeah.
5 times, because one of the ways that we want to market your live auction is during the live auction. You want to have a beautiful slideshow that's on the screens in the room where everyone can see it. So if you have a huge room, a huge ballroom, and you have people at round tables, you might want to have screens in the back of the room too, because the people who are seated where they're not facing the stage, if you have round tables or any shaped table, half the people are facing backwards,
Right.
right? They're not facing the stage. So you might want to have that information on the screens. It can be running as part of your sponsor loop and your thank you loop before the dinner begins. But then when the live auction is happening, is the final time that you have to capture their attention, where you have the image of the item, some detail, the major bullet points about the item that are very important, any really important restrictions,
Mhm.
and then the auctioneer is going to speak to the details too. So that's the kind of the last ditch effort, right? Is here
Y-
we are, get your attention. But
You
they should have been hearing about it for weeks before they get to the event.
well, yeah, touch on that. How far in advance?
I mean, I usually suggest that you start teasing live auction items out via text and email about 2 weeks prior to the event. If you go farther than that, I just think people lose interest. And it's just, if the event seems too far away, they're not really interested in hearing about it. But as your event approaches, then you want to start putting your items out on social media, like maybe presenting one live auction item every other day. You want to, our event management software has the ability to send text messages. Those are super effective because you can include a link that takes them to your auction website where they can preview all the live auction items. They can see all the descriptions, all the details about the items. So sending a text is effective because people read their text messages. Emails are a little bit more difficult. They are filtered a bunch of different ways. People get hundreds a day, and so they might miss it. So if you're sending out an email, which I think you still should, I would maybe send out one the week before and the one 2 weeks before the
Yeah,
event.
yeah.
Just kind of a know before you go email that also has a link to the live auction items.
I love that, and you said, like, emails are not as effective, but you still didn't tell folks not to do it. You gotta do it
Uh,
all, right? That's
yeah,
the
some
yeah,
people rely on emails, and it's just one more way that they will ingest the information, right?
yeah.
And so it may hit you may get them right at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I always suggest sending those emails early, like at 7 or 7:30 in the morning, where it's kind of top of their inbox. And so when they sit down and maybe they're looking at it on their phone before they go into work or before they take their drive to work, and they might see it then. But don't send it in the middle of the day where it's going to get buried in one.
Totally, totally. I'm getting in the weeds a little bit. Now, you mentioned now definitely night of, you're talking about restrictions and things like that, and, like, every little bullet. um, for brevity of message in these text messages and emails, for instance, when you're teasing live auction items, do you not be for the sake of, like, not, telling folks the full story, but do you keep the brevity? It's like, this is a great live auction item, but you don't list all that stuff in those preliminary messages,
No,
I'm
no, no,
assuming,
no.
or okay,
Right.
okay. Yeah,
You don't need any of those details because all you have to do is link to your live auction catalog in your auction software. So you don't have to include any of those details at all. You can make it a super short, to the point. I love it when our clients kind of create text messages that go according to the theme of their event, and they just make it really fun. Like we had an 80s themed event, and their text messages said, "Hey man, here are all the rad auction items,"
right.
and it was just cute and fun. And they
It's on
added little,
brand.
yeah,
Yeah,
they added little emojis to it. And so people are like, "Oh, that is so cute. I'm going to click on that." And it took them right in. So you
yeah.
just need to capture their attention a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's cute, and it's also not what they see from everyone else too, right?
right,
So, like you said,
right,
I call it interrupting the loop for attention.
right.
You know what I mean? We're
Just
on this continuous loop of information, right? Like,
right, right,
I think that's
right.
it
Exactly.
sounds small, but I think it's really, really effective. Give
Yeah.
folks give folks some, unconventional, like, you just came up with a really cool creative way that your client was doing with an '80s theme. Give folks maybe that are listening that haven't tried, like, I don't care, like, an easel with a list of live auction items at check-in. I don't know. Just some unconventional ways they could be advertising night of that they might not be thinking of.
Yeah. So, one idea that we had at an event recently, which I thought was so cute, is they had kind of Vanna White girls at the event during the cocktail hour, and they were literally wearing placard boards like
Oh, yeah.
over them, like kind of the old fashioned girls in Vegas who were the cigarette girls. But
Yes.
they had these boards on that were the live auction items, and they were walking all around the live auction, the cocktail party,
Yeah.
and saying, "Oh, I'm here to tell you about my live auction item." And they knew all about their live auction item. And I just thought it was great. I really did.
I love
And
it.
people thought it was really cute. And of course, they were cute girls and very friendly and gregarious. And
Yeah.
it was a great way for them to kind of get, be able to get that information in front of people. The other thing is I think it's important for your auctioneer to be in that cocktail party too, because your auctioneer
Explain. Yeah.
understands what the items are, and they can walk up to the different people, introduce themselves as the auctioneer, and then just let them know about the different auction items. Like, have you seen the list of auction items? What are you interested in? And then they can just kind of strike up those conversations. So then when the live auction actually happens, the auctioneer can say, "Hey, Joe, remember I was talking to you about this in the cocktail
Totally.
party? Come on, let's bid. This is your time to bid."
Yeah.
So it just makes it fun. It just warms up the audience. And of course, you can have display boards. We've got all kinds of examples of live auction displays in our on our blog, on our social media platforms, especially our Pinterest. We've got so many ideas on there that people can see. So if you guys need information, just reach out. I'm happy to direct you to that. But
Yeah.
of course, you want to give them the program. They can have
Mhm.
a program with the information in it. And I'm just trying to think of other kind of creative ideas that I've seen.
Yeah, you mentioned the program. My mind went to like once they're at the table, anything creative. Is it a paddle? A bid
Well,
card.
and
Talk about
yeah,
that a
so
little bit.
that's
Yeah.
great. Thank you for reminding me, Trevor.
Yeah.
So we do have custom bid battles that we create all the time for our clients.
Yeah.
That just basically on the back of the paddle, it will list the live auction items and then include a QR code that takes them to the auction catalog and the auction software,
Yeah.
and so they're able to see all the details there as well. So there are a lot of different ways that you can, let people know what's happening. We also have had clients who have huge, like 10-foot tall lit boards. Like when people come into the event and they have to go past these boards with the descriptions of the light auction items, they go past it on the way to the bar and the cocktail hour. And so I think just kind of being a little bit obnoxious at your event.
Loud, loud.
Yeah,
It's okay to be loud though, right? That's what we
sure.
want. Yeah, and
Yeah,
yeah, you
sure.
mentioned even like with the gregariousness with the gals with the placards and then your auctioneer. It's like all that is building familiarity
Hmm.
and pushing folks to the bidding process, right?
Right.
Or further
Right.
down that funnel, so to speak, right?
Right. And if
Yeah,
you have kind of experiential type items or travel packages or chef's dinners or different things like that, or maybe 10 people can be a part of it or 6 people can participate, you want to let people learn about those items in time to be able to talk to their friends and their family and say, "Hey, you guys, we're going to go to Winter Park. We want to go to Colorado. There's a house in Winter Park. Let's go.
yeah,
Let's do it together."
yeah,
And if it's that just helps you have more prepared bidders in the room.
yeah,
If you leave it all to the last minute, you're still going to get some people, but you may have people who kind of back out, who aren't prepared for it, and things like that. So I
yeah.
just think if you want more people who are prepared to bid, you've got to educate them as much as possible.
I mean, I could be speculating, but you got more prepared bidders coming into the room. You have higher bids as well, right? As a result,
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly.
no,
Exactly. So it
it's
just helps everybody be more prepared. And I think the social media posts,
mhm,
those, I mean, you've got so many platforms, right?
yeah,
It's not just one platform. So go ahead and put your posts out on all the different platforms that you think you might, just use all of them. People
yeah,
use all the different ones. Everybody has their favorite. There are platforms out there that you can use that you can set up all your posts and they all go out automatically to all the different platforms. So it's
yep,
not that difficult
yep,
to do that. So, yeah, I just think that and then, on your auction software site, you want to have all of your live auction items on there where
totally.
everybody can see them. So when they start bidding in the silent auction, they're still exposed to the live auction. Like
I'm
it
also
doesn't,
hearing you say no surprises a little bit too.
yeah,
Am I projecting? Yeah, no
yes.
surprises. Yeah.
Hmm.
Not
Hmm.
good, not good with our current landscape. Folks don't like surprises very much. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So, no, I think it's great. Well, you mentioned the ebook, you mentioned Pinterest. Obviously, we're gonna link all those things in the show notes. Claire, do us a favor, tell the audience where they can find you to continue the conversation. Of course, they can connect with you on LinkedIn. That's going to be in the show notes as well. So please connect with Claire and tell her that we sent you. But yeah, anything in closing where folks can find you easier.
Yes, of course. You can find me on muradauctions.com. It's Murad, like Curette Band-Aids, but Murad with an M. So we always explain our name. So, but it'll be down in the show notes so you can connect with us. You can, you can always reach out to me and schedule a time just for a free consultation. We're happy to talk through ideas with a nonprofit. That's our way to give back. So yeah, I just enjoyed sharing these ideas. I hope you guys can really learn how to promote your live auction. And we do have a blog on our website, which we'll link to that speaks specifically about how to market your live auction. So you'll see all those ideas there.
I love it. Yeah, I just love when we get like really, once again really tactical. It's like it's got to be 6 times minimum, and then get creative. So yeah,
Yeah.
in typical fashion, I can't thank you enough for
Yes.
yeah being so agreeable with this info and sharing with the audience. I appreciate you so much, Claire. So
Sure.
thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate everybody tuning in. As mentioned, connect with Claire, let her know that we sent you, and we appreciate you all for tuning in. Enjoy the day.